Malison: The Cursed City is a fantasy survival horror RPG published by Devolver Digital, currently in development, in which you investigate a sinister city filled with hundreds of grotesque monsters, demons, and weirdos. It focuses on exploration and atmosphere. Its main influences are both classic Western RPGs like Baldur's Gate, Japanese RPGs like Final Fantasy, as well as survival horror games such as the Resident Evil and Silent Hill series. As you sneak through the city, you encounter all sorts of strange characters, many of which you can speak to, trade with, recruit to your cause, steal from, or even attack if you so choose. You can approach this game in a million ways. It's up to you how you plan to survive. Your actions may lead to wealth, disaster, betrayal, or may even lead to uncovering some of the city's darkest secrets and the game's many hidden endings. The main character is no powerful hero. You awaken in the city transformed into a weak, frail goblin, and may need to rely on desperate measures for your survival. You will likely need help from other survivors you meet, and it is up to you to decide who you trust and recruit to your cause. Combat is in a classic turn-based style with a focus on managing scarce resources and building unique strategies by recruiting all sorts of different party members, equipping them, and teaching them new skills. Monsters move closer to you during combat, increasing the threat and tension as they begin using their more devastating attacks. You do not want them too close. I stream development work of Malison Tuesday to Friday at 7 p.m. EST on Twitch. I also have new development update streams on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. EST. There is also a Discord you can join for the game. Check below. Alrighty. Hello, hello. Okay, so I've been working on some little things here. Before I go to, I have there was the last day of playtesting today. It went okay. There are some bugs reported I want to fix. And it turns out the 1.6 update is probably going to be next week, early next week. Because we want to do a little bit more preparation to like launch it.
So does mean I have a little more time to add a little more polish. Here's a little bit of polish I just added. Added a new frame for the trench digger when it's about to shoot. And I want to add a new sound for it loading up a bullet. So let's try to find a good sound for loading something on free sound. Let's see if we can find something for... Oh, there's a gun racking sound there. That could be used for that. Alright, let's pause the music a little bit here. Let's hear this one. Maybe I could use this. If I mess with this one and I mix it with this one, I think maybe these two together could be something good. Yeah, I'll just play with the pitch on these two here. I also added a little something to the Rat King that I'm pretty happy with too. I'll show that a little bit later. Just added a bunch of little polished things today. Added a few fun little things. Made the Rat King much more dangerous too while I was there, you know? Just while I was passing by. While I was in the region, decided to make the Rat King a little bit tougher. Not by much. Yeah. Let's add a little bit of reverb to the racking. All right, let's hear this. Okay, let's make it way pitched down. Okay. Let's add a little echo. That's too strong. That works. That works. Yeah, you can report them in the... well, were you using the... are you on the beta or are you on the main version of the game? Because if you're on the main version, you might be reporting bugs that have already been fixed. That sounds good. Let's use that for... Try that. That is going to be cannon load. All right, let's give this a shot. Cannon load. Okay. Let's go test it out. Is it just my voice that's too low? Let me check that. Is this better? There might have been an update, so sometimes that like resets all of my audio settings. Let me look around. Yeah, it does seem like my... Also, I was recording things last night, too. I did record things at one point. I think I might have lowered the volume of my mic then. Is that better? There we go. I think that's better. Okay. Oh, okay, I was testing the rat. Well, I guess I might show... I can show the additions to the Rat King now. You feel a strange urge to obey. Kneel. Will you kneel? No. Treason. I am not gonna win this fight. I am not going to win this fight. There's no way. And now, when it's about to do the big attack, there's a little sprite change. To really clarify, you should be guarding. At least guarding with whoever is being targeted if you have more than one party member. But yeah, I'm not going to win this. I am not going to win this. You still take 50 damage guarding here. Okay, I might actually win it. I did get lucky with the triple bleed proc and the fire proc. This might not be impossible for me to win. I might actually do it. If I get lucky into some crits, I might do it here. You really want more than one party member to fight. Nah. Yeah, you really need more than one party member to take him on. You really do. I mean, it might be possible solo, but that's going to be tough. Also, there's another big change. You don't get the crown from just killing it anymore. You need to kneel and then kill it to get the crown now. And kneeling makes the fight way worse. Yeah. Kneeling is basically just letting the fight get way harder. And that's when you have to kill it. You have to kill it after kneeling. Yeah. Pretty happy. I think that works really well. I'm not going to show what it does when you kneel. Also, you don't want to lose after you kneel either. There might be something a little special that happens then. What did I put the test for? Oh, I guess that's close enough. I guess so. Nestor Mansion. Alright, let's get to the end of the war zone so I can show what I've been working on just now for... Ooh, a little... There you go. Last payment. There we go. There is... Oh, right. There's another new song, by the way. You're about to hear it. And there's another new song coming maybe tonight, too. Yeah, Non-Collision Object has been on fire making music. Let's do cleave. Oh, right. Right, I'm using cheats right now. Okay, security deposit. There we go. That looks good. Okay. That works. A special animation for that would be good, though. A special animation for this would be really good. Ooh, should I do that? Should I make one? A special animation for this would be really good. Let's try with it changing its sprite just before the explosive shot happens. That might look better than it changing the sprite after. Also, I'll check the garbage worm. I might have made a mistake when I implemented that. Okay. Let's see. So let's remove the special gear here that kind of makes all of the attacks not work. Let's just have army jacket, army boots, champion's belt. Alright, that way we can see a little bit more what the attacks do. Let's do deep cut. Five damage still, though. Okay, now let's see what happens when the explosion, when the attack happens just after the sprite change. I think that's going to look better. Yeah, with a battle animation, that's going to look better. Yeah, with a battle animation, that's going to look better, I think. Let's do that. But before I do, let's quickly check the garbage worm. I might have made a mistake when I implemented it. Okay, there's nothing here. There's nothing here causing a problem. Okay. So it's not there that I made a mistake. Did I just never set it up? Maybe I never set it up. That happens. Sometimes you forget. Sometimes you forget. It happens to the best of us. Yeah, maybe I just forgot to put it in. That's possible. Yep. I just straight up didn't put it in. Well. There we go. That happens. Let's have a little fade out. And then here. That should do it. And here. What did I name? I had a special name for the. I think I made a song, a version of Worm Dance that's like muffled. I think I did. I feel like I remember doing that. For attacking the body. I guess not. Oh no, low worm dance. There it is. It's low worm dance. There we go. That works. That works. What was the inspiration for everyone getting transformed when they witness the visitor in any way? Because I'm confused if you do believe that looking at an eldritch god makes you insane or change you in any way. I'm not sure what you're asking. I'm not sure if you what you're asking there, the king. Okay, yeah, let's do an animation. Here. Going to make a new sprite here for setting up the trench digger chute. Trench cannon. Let's continue the music. Yeah, let's resume the music I was playing earlier. Well, that's not... In Look Outside, that's not what's happening, though. It's not just that looking at something makes you go mad because you don't understand it. That's actually not what happens in Look Outside. I think the idea of some sort of information that breaks your brain is interesting. It's fun. And there is one example of that does happen in the game, but it's a much more literal thing that happens in one of the endings. It's not really that you look at something that you don't understand. Your brain just gets wiped with the information. Your brain just like basically overheats, you know? Just yeah. I mean, I guess that ending kind of treats the brain as if it was just like a hard drive that you could overfill. And I'm sure that that's an oversimplification, you know? I'm sure that if you actually got too much information for your brain, it wouldn't actually, you know... That's not what would happen then. You would just... You would just probably stop. You'd probably just stop reading, you know? Your brain would just probably stop working for a bit. Or it would just maybe start overriding old things, really. Which does happen in that cutscene. It does mention you sort of losing previous things you knew. I mean, the very goal of that ending was to sort of present something that feels like it's believable that you would go mad if it happened to you, you know? Like something that you can kind of empathize, because I feel like it's usually difficult to empathize with the idea of someone going mad just because they see something spooky, you know? I'm sure that would actually happen. I mean, you know, if you saw something that really made no sense, that would probably traumatize you. I mean, people are traumatized all the time by things that do make sense, that are just too horrible, you know? So I think it you know, sure. Seeing something really spooky enough in a dark alley would probably traumatize me in some way. But it's still hard to internalize this. It's hard to, like, believe it. You know? intellectually, I feel like if I met Cthulhu in a dark alley, that would probably not be great for me, you know? I would probably not have a great time having my understanding of reality completely collapse. Oh. So that's real. Well, that's not, you know? I don't think I would take it well. Setting aside whatever, you know, whatever the great old one would do to me, you know, even if this was a completely, you know, if this was a completely banal encounter. You know, just two ships passing by in the night. Just Cthulhu chilling. I think that would still probably be pretty bad. Just like encountering an angel would be. Sort of a very sudden reshaping of your entire concept of what's real and what isn't. That's, you know, that can't be pleasant. You're not supposed to say that, Duck King. Motherfucker's literally unspeakable. Damn, if Cthulhu liked bugs, I feel like that would already reduce my sanity hit by quite a bit. I feel like if I just saw Cthulhu doing nothing, that would hurt my sanity more than seeing Cthulhu, like, being interested in an ant. You know? There's something kind of inherently adorable about that. You know, maybe everything will be alright. Cthulhu just being there and looking at an ant, you know? Maybe everything's gonna be alright. I don't know, maybe. I mean, we're talking about merch a bit, so... I mean, that would be essentially like a physical edition is kind of like merch. You know, maybe if we start thinking about like other platform releases, maybe that's when we would also think about physical releases alongside that. I don't know. I don't really know, because, yeah, in my mind, physical releases nowadays really seem like they're more a merch thing than an actual launch thing, you know? Yeah. And I don't know what the math is on whether or not those are worth it. Yeah, a game of the year edition. A game of the year edition. I feel like usually physical editions nowadays just have a fucking download code in there, though. So I don't know if that really helps. I don't know if that really helps for people who don't want to download things. Yeah, usually physical editions are just kind of a gimmick thing. They're not really, they're not actually a physical edition. Oh yeah, yeah, if it's coming out on the Switch, that's different. If it's coming out on consoles, then yeah, sure. But you know, as long as it's still just a PC game. So it was originally a Game Jam game, Ryurian. The Game Jam was just 1 month, and then I spent 5 months turning it into like a full release to put on Steam. But I've also been continuously like working on it for about 5 months since. 4 months now. So by the time we hit 2.0, it's going to be a game I worked on for 1 year. I wonder how that copy protection works exactly for Earthbound. I'm sure there's a video explaining it. I think it just checks if you've cheated in general. Like it checks a bunch of like story flags throughout the game or something, and makes sure that they're all set properly, right? Like you have all the like you actually did go through the entire game. You didn't just like warp to the end or something. I think that might be like most of it. Or maybe it checks like the Nintendo like Switch thing, the Nintendo chip, the lockout chip. Yeah, SNES games are gonna have their SNES games at this point need a change of battery, don't they? I have a bunch of SNES carts that probably have dead batteries now. I think those batteries are meant to last like 20 years or something, but there's some variation. Yeah. There's tiny little batteries in there and they can die. Yeah. You just need to replace the battery, but you do need to open up the cartridge for that. You need to actually open up the cartridge and replace the little... It's like a little watch battery in there. It's supposed to last a long time because it's only sending enough pulses to keep the save alive. So you should just need to replace that battery. Now, I'm sure there's other components that also have some kind of rot to them, that eventually they stop working in general. Might be some corrosion issues too. But usually you can just fix that. Yeah, it is a welded battery in there. There's probably a bunch of... I have a bunch of cartridges. When I got my first job, like, out of college, and I didn't really have a lot of expenses yet, I went a little bit nuts buying cartridges on eBay for a little while. Stop now. I got scammed doing that one time. There were a lot of scams on eBay then. Especially if you were looking for a popular game. Like a big game, like a Zelda, anything like that. There were a lot of scams for those. No, I don't mean that. Way simpler scams than that. Just literally... there was something that scammers could use. There was a strategy scammers could use because eBay and PayPal had different systems, had different sort of rules for refunds, and there was a gap between which you can no longer get a refund from eBay, but you can still give a refund through PayPal or something like that. And, like, they were using this to make scams. Where basically... It's like someone sells you a game, right? And then never sends it to you and hopes you just forget. And, like, you just... They just hope at first that you just forget. And you never, like, email them. You never, like, want to, like, ask about it. Because then that's easy money. They just get to keep your money and that's it. And if you reply to them, hey, where's the game? I'm still waiting for it. They use the fact that the time you have to refund a payment you make in PayPal is way longer than the time you can refund a purchase on eBay. And so they say, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to put this on sale. My kid put all of my games... on sale, and it's not my fault, blah, blah, just a sob story. And then, instead of refunding the purchase to you through eBay, they just send you money in PayPal. And they hope that you haven't done this before. They hope that you have never had to, like, have a refund through like eBay or anything like that before, right? They hope that you don't know that, wait, this isn't how this is supposed to go. You're not supposed to get a refund through... You're supposed to, like, just cancel the purchase, basically, through eBay. So they're hoping that you don't know that that's the normal way to do this. And instead, you just, okay, I mean, I guess they sent me my money back through PayPal, and I guess I don't need to worry about this anymore. Then they wait for you to be no longer, that you can no longer refund it on eBay. They wait for that time to elapse, and once that time is elapsed, they cancel the payment they sent you to PayPal. So now you're just left with no money. There you go. Well, that's a scam. See, every time there's a weird, complex system like this, there's gonna be people that find ways to, scam people with it. Using any kind of little knowledge gaps people might have. It's automated, Zerlith. It's automated. It's all like, and when it happened to me, I actually got a really good chance to realize it was a scam, but I just had no idea. So they still got me. But when they sent me like a reply email with like a sob story for why they accidentally put the game on sale, they accidentally sent me 3 emails, each with a different sob story. I remember they accidentally sent me like multiple with a different story in each. I think it was 2 or 3. And at this point I knew, wait, this is weird. This is clearly some sort of scam. But I just didn't know what to do. I didn't realize what a scam was. I was like, wait, what? And I just had like a few days left for refunding it. And it took me too long to like realize what was happening, so they still got me. But yeah, it's just automated. That's how they get, quote unquote, the energy for it. It's not like a single person doing it. It's like, you know, like this is like a business model, basically. They're just making money. It's all like some sort of, they have like a bunch of pre-written emails, and you know, it's a business. It's a business that they built to be as efficient as they can, you know. Just it is what it is. Eh. I mean, I'm sure people figure out all sorts of ways people figure out all sorts of ways to live with having some whatever dishonest ways they have to make money. People have all sorts of excuses they find, I imagine. Part of it is probably, you know, kind of dehumanizing the victims. It's probably a big part of it. Thinking of them as like morons, you know, idiots, people that they're getting to get a win on. They might imagine them as being rich people. I mean, there's a lot of very dishonest and manipulative business practices that are not illegal. And, you know, people find all sorts of excuses for those. Just in the game industry, like anything that's really manipulative, tricking people into spending more money than they should, manipulating people into spending all their money. The stuff about whales and all this. You know, people just find all sorts of excuses to make it okay. It's not even that uncommon. And hey, I mean, if you were in dire straits enough, maybe even you could convince yourself that it's okay to do shit like this. Also, sometimes it's scams too. I mean, sometimes it's scams, sometimes it's cons. Cons are probably a little bit easier to, cons are always a little bit easier, I think, probably to sort of, justify doing. You know? Because cons are like a special kind of scam where you basically trick someone by making them think that they are scamming you, right? Like you basically give someone what seems like an opportunity to scam you, and if they take it, then you're scamming them. You know? That's what a con is, right? A con is making someone think that they're putting one over you, while you're actually like a step ahead of them. So I imagine those are a lot easier. And this is what, like, you know, the Nigerian prince stuff. Like a lot of scams are actually more like cons, right? Oh, time to stretch, yes. I'm gonna go make me some tea. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'll put on an ad. And I'll go make myself some tea. I'll be right back. Milk propaganda. I mean, you know, I would like to believe that I would stick to my ethics, even if I was, you know, that my ethics would survive rough tests. But you know, as long as I'm not actually in that, as long as I haven't been put in that situation, I can't actually know. You know, it's too easy to say, yes, my ideals are strong. You know? It's easy to say that when everything's going well. Just adding an attack animation to the cannon attack. Hello, not a snake around. Well, IFT. I think that counts. Hey, Hello Blossoms VT, how's it going? Also, thanks for the gifted sub, Rurian. How you doing? Chrono Raid. Nice. Oh, Chrono Trigger, nice. Chrono Trigger is a really, really good RPG. It aged really well compared to the other games of that era. I think the only other RPG on the SNES that aged as well as Chrono Trigger is probably Mario RPG. I mean, personally, I really like Final Fantasy VI, but you know, if I have to recommend someone play an RPG, like an old style RPG, Chrono Trigger is generally the first one. Yeah, Mario RPG is a really good introduction to that old style of RPG. It was meant to be an introduction to RPGs in general back then. You know, it was meant to sort of bring RPGs to people who just like Mario games a little bit. Sort of bringing together two audiences in a way that would be hopefully constructive. I think it did a really good job of it. So the Breath of Fire games, I had kind of a bad experience with Breath of Fire 2. Because the first time I played it, I didn't really speak English yet. And I got stuck a few times. And I just kind of gave up on it. Listen, RPGs were kind of tricky if you didn't speak the language yet, you know? I could hack it through Mario RPG, because that was simple enough. And I could hack it through Chrono Trigger. There was just one moment. There was just one moment in Chrono Trigger that was really tricky if you didn't speak the language. It was that moment where you have to bring food supplies to the front line. And you end up at the bridge. And that's like one moment where you need to go to like a specific place. You know? That's like the one moment in the game where there isn't like an obvious, like the path forward isn't super obvious. And that's like the one part I remember getting stuck in. French. Yeah, French is my main language. French Canadian. All right, we got some. Yeah, let's put this into the new animation and let's make an animation from this. Pronunciation isn't perfect. There's a few things I get wrong. Took me a while to learn how to pronounce anemone. Wait, I'm probably still getting it wrong too. It's kind of a weird one. You know? It's kind of a weird one, anemone. Okay, I think this will work here, and maybe I can have the eyes up here as a separate frame. Like that. Epitome. Epitome? Is that how you say that? Epitome? Thanks for stopping by. Alright, let's export this and let's make an animation out of it. We have a new animation for the trench digger. Let's change the target here. Also, I polished up the trench digger overall too. Just say it made a little bit. I felt the claws were a little kind of undetailed looking. That's better now. A few little things changed. Yeah, he was supposed to be the landlord from the start, but there was very little actually indicating that. But yeah, that was supposed to be the case from the start. It was just very unclear. Okay, there we go. That's placed correctly, I think. Wait, no. Ah, shit. Cancel. Yes, discard. I was just starting to... I had just overwritten something here. It's not Accolade. It is... Cannon Fire. There we go. And now... Yeah, there's a new animation for the Rat King too. This is what happens if you this is what happens if you decide to kneel. There we go. Okay. That does it. And then... like that. Boom. Yep. If you kneel, all it does is it basically gives you a huge disadvantage at the start of the fight. It makes him do an extra attack that hurts everybody, and that has a chance to charm everybody. So it gives you a whole lot of chaos at the very start of the fight. It's really nasty. But you need to kneel before you fight it if you want to get the crown now. That is what you need to do to get the crown. You don't get the crown by just killing it anymore. Yep. If you kill it after kneeling, it now bestows the crown upon you when you kill it. Well, thank you, XP. Well, they're a paying customer. They say the customer's always right. Those times we live in. We do live in interesting times, don't we? There you go. That was good. And now for the blast. I could maybe use this. Okay. I need a cannon fire. Let's get some sounds from freesound.org. Let's see. Canon. Creative Commons. That's not too bad. That's pretty good. I like this one. I like this one too. Well, I got two. Let's see what I can do with those. Let's see what I can do with those. Okay. And this one. Okay, yeah. Needs to be faster than that to start. Cannon shot. I really wish that I could have a screen shake as an actual effect here. Unfortunately, you can't do that. Alright, I think that works. I like that. I like that. Let's see it in action now. That's a fun little effect. Let's remove our busted gear. Just have regular ass stuff. Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't set it. I didn't actually set... I did the same mistake yesterday, didn't I? It's explosive shot. It uses the grenade effect. Instead, I should use this one. Okay. And here, just before this happens, there's going to be a small shake screen. Let's try this one. I like that. That's good. I like that. That's good. That's good. Can I actually win it? Maybe I can. He has been taking a lot of bleeding damage. No. Ah. Oh. Nah, he just performed repairs. Are you still taking? Nah, I might win. I might win. Nope. Yeah. Okay. I like this, though. It's good. It's good. It works. Yeah, it did. I mean, being alone was the problem. Yeah, I really wish I could... maybe... What if I did something here? What if I did something... Cannon fire... and cannon blast. What if I did something? Here's what I'm gonna do. Gonna separate the cannon fire and the explosion at the end. So that I can have a screen shake for the explosion. Yeah. So I'm gonna remove this. So this is just going to be, I'm gonna remove the bomb blast. So it's just gonna be this for the cannon fire. Right? And then the actual attack is going to be using Cannon Blast, which is just going to start at frame 20. It's going to start basically here. And that way I'll be able to have a screen shake for this explosion here. And this one is going to start at frame 1. And this one is going to start at frame 2. So this separate thing is just going to be the explosion. There you go. So now, the skill itself is going to use Cannon Blast. And then, here, instead of just playing this, it's going to be a much stronger shake. And here it's going to show an animation on show battle animation. Okay, that's the wrong thing. I'll do the stretch real quick, just a moment. Battle animation on the trench digger, and that's going to use cannon fire on the trench digger here. And then there's going to be a wait of like, I don't know, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. And then screen shake, and then the actual attack happens. Let's see what that's like. I think that could be really cool. So that way I get to have a screen shake specifically for the explosion. I think that should be cool. There's probably some better way to actually put a screen shake in a thing, but let's try that. Again, let's just put regular weapon, army jacket. Oh, I just realized the base sprite here is the wrong one. Oh well, I'll need to fix it. That's the old sprite. Now it switches to the proper one. Let's guard. Okay, let's pay attention here. Okay, that's okay. I think it adds a pause by default at the end of the animation. Yeah, I think there's a pause by default there. So like that doubled up the pause there between the two animations. Okay, almost there. So instead of adding like 100, let's just add like 20 frames between the two. Also, let's update the sprite here. That's using the wrong sprite. Should be this one. See the difference here? Just a little more polish on the front arms there. A little more polish overall. Slightly better. Okay, let's give this another shot. Yeah, looks better in the fade out too. Guard. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Let's do another. Let's see if I can win it this time. Whew. And dead. Rip. Yeah, it probably should. It should probably just say the security deposit thing one time. It does feel a bit weird that it says it more than once. There you go. All right, that works. That works. Okay. Let's see. What's next? Oh, I want to go over some of the bugs that they found today. There's a bunch of bugs they found today. Today was the last playtest session. So let's go look through them. Yeah, there's some new ones. Let's see. Okay, that's something. This one should be fixed. Yeah, this one was Joel counterattacking himself. Let's resume the music now that I'm no longer playing in sound. I think it was the end of the soundtrack there. Okay, what do I put on then? How about Castlevania 3? My favorite. But yeah, this one was fixed. Inconsistency in the button mapping. That's another one that they can't. Cancel button sometimes closes the dialog box. Okay. Oh, it's not possible to reload the acid sprayer right now? Okay. Oh, maybe. Oh, I thought I fixed that. Maybe I only fixed it for the flamethrower. Maybe I only fixed this for the flamethrower. Replace acid tank. Okay. Let's look at the replace acid tanks. Acid tank. With item is 168. And 168 is herbicide. That should work. Huh. Weird. Let's go test it. I think my favorite track is still Exposure. I need to use up... Oh, right. I need to get into a few battles to test this. No effect on the... Oh, wait. Is that still broken? The first one didn't work. The second one did. Was it just a miss? Oh yeah, there's two guys here now. For the two of them here. Okay. Now I have 0 ammo. Replace acid tank. That works. That is repaired. Oh, but it turns into X spray here. That's wrong. That is wrong. That should not turn into X. Yeah. $68, not an 89. 68 is herbicide, yeah. I need to go look into the old code. Take care, XP. Reload. Okay, so fuel tank here is 278. And acid spray is 279. Gasoline is 162. Herbicide is 168. For the gasoline, it needs to turn into full flamethrower. And this would be 156. And for the full flamethrower, that would be 153. I mean, it depends on what you're like. Look Outside ended up having a lot of programming in it because I just ended up putting a lot of systems that were not like default RPG Maker stuff. But you can make an RPG that's a lot like this but simpler, with a lot less coding. Like you could design a game like this to require less coding pretty easily. You just need to be familiar with the engine and know what it's good at and what it can do. And that would be like the learning curve there, is knowing what the engine already lets you do. Well, evasion should help you sometimes evade incoming melee attacks. And agility means you're more likely to act first in battle. So at the start of a turn, if your agility is low, enemies are going to attack first. And sometimes that can be pretty important. Especially if you want to like use healing items and stuff. If you, it's really best to have someone with high agility use healing items, so people can be healed before enemies attack. But agility is not nearly as important as other stuff. There's some versions, some games that use an active time battle system. Agility is more important because if you have an active time battle system, so like there's like a little meter that builds up, and when it maxes out, that's when you attack. games like this, agility is more important because you act more often. Like, your character's gonna literally act more often if agility is high. But with Look Outside, it's just the order of actions in battle, so it's not quite that important. But there's also a few attacks in the game that are boosted by agility. There's a few attacks that are boosted by agility in the game. And so for those, you know, if you find one of those attacks, it might be a good idea to invest a little bit more in agility then. It is going well. Yeah, if you get the Yanma belt, or also there is the jump attack. The jump attack is a fairly easy skill to get. But yeah, the Yanma belt is sort of like the super version of the jump attack. Also, kick attacks also get boosted from agility. So if you find boots, and the bonus with kick attacks is that they have a chance to stun. But yes, the Yanma belt gives you the Yanma kick, and that deals paralysis. Paralysis is extremely powerful. That's like, there's very few ways to deal paralysis in the game. The Yanma belt is one of the few ways. Oh, we got a new song, folks. We got a new song. We got a new song. Try to guess who this is for. Now, this is a sketch, or this is like a work in progress. Let's try to guess. Try to guess who this is for. That's good. Dimera got it. I think the Stargazer's difficulty is okay. But now it's got a new song, I might mess with the how the encounter starts a little bit, like I've done with others. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, that's really good. Well, the Stargazer, the main thing it does is like the telescope thrust and like the gaze action. There isn't really too much going on as far as special attacks yet for the Stargazer, but I feel like maybe it could get one. It could get something nasty that hits the whole party. Maybe like that happens just once. You know? Yeah. It's a really good eerie track. Oh, those are already in there. Yeah, it's really good. All right, gonna need to have a good name for it. Let's try to figure out one. There's quite a few bosses that have new music now. There's quite a few. All right, all right. A good song for the Stargazers theme. Let's see. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, you can back up your saves. You can. Hmm. Constellation. Hmm. Hmm. Sisiki, yeah, Sisigi. What could it be? Something. I got something. I got something brewing here for the name. Hang on. Hang on. It's there. It's right there. It's on the tip of my tongue. Almost got it. Hmm. Hmm. I got something. I got something. I'll think of something. I'll think of something. Yeah, yeah. Beautiful but wrong might be fun. That's the wrong one. Ah. That sets the wrong one here. Oh, that's the wrong command here. That's why. 278. 278. Not sure. Still that. Oh, it's backwards. It was backwards. There we go. Oh, but it didn't refill my ammo. It did not refill my ammo. Equip data. Okay, I think that should fix it. That should refuel the acid spray. This should also refuel gasoline. Let's try that. So this should only use up one herbicide. Only one herbicide. I have 26 here. Equip is not defined. Ah. You're supposed to be able to refuel it using the herbicide. This is actually what I'm fixing right now. It was just not working. You're also supposed to be able to refuel the flamethrower with gasoline. That was also not working. It should be working in this new version. Okay, now full, and did it use up herbicide? Yes, it used up one herbicide to refuel the acid sprayer. Let's now see if the flamethrower works too. Flamethrower, same deal, but with fire. Yeah. $75. RIP. I don't think so. An attack animation for the flamethrower would be good. It feels a bit weird that it doesn't have anything. Let's go fight some rats. Wide flame. No more fire. Replace fuel tank. There you go. Back to using the flame. Good, good. And did it use up a single gasoline? I think it did. Yeah, I had 26, right? Yeah, good. So that's working. That's working. I think I'm gonna die here, though. Oh. No, I couldn't run. I couldn't run. Oh, no, not that. I think I might have had an autosave there. Yes. There we go. So here, gasoline. Yeah, okay. It uses up 1 gasoline and refills. Yep, that works. Good. Good. Uses up a bottle of herbicide. What do you call those big plastic bottles of gasoline? What do you call those? Is it a tank? Oh, that's a little repetitive here. A can, yeah. A can of gasoline. Yeah. And let's use the actual icon of the object for the skill. There we go. Let's see if I can add some more icons here. There's a few missing icons. That'd be nice to add those. Some skill icons.
No, it's time to stretch.
Oh, time to stretch, folks. Actually, I missed one, didn't I? Well, time to stretch, folks.
Ooh.
Okay. Let's add an icon for throwing flame. It's going to be for the narrow jet of fire. This is going to be for the wide one. Let's resume the music too. So, what other boss in the game? What other boss in the game could use a song next? Hmm. The Face Taker could. The Face Taker could. The Face Taker might be good. It is a pretty, like, it has a lot of frames and everything. It has a whole, like, section. It has, like, a whole, like, you know. There's a whole process to the fight starting. So that would probably be a good... That would probably be a good one. Typewriter needs more than just a song, though. Typewriter needs a little more work overall. The Boiler Beast has a song already. The song that was used for most most enemies that are like too dangerous. That song was originally meant to just be for the Boiler Beast. The Runaway song. That was originally just for the Boiler Beast, that one. the flower area, the overgrown area, is definitely gonna get some more love. Yep. Maybe something that kind of starts eerie, kind of shifts from eerie to like bumping, to like having a good rhythm. So yeah, I just told him, yeah, maybe something that shifts between two modes: one eerie and atmospheric, and one heart pumping with rhythm, and the strong contrast between the two, and it shifts back and forth. I think that'd be good. I think that would be good. So here, this would be... Alright, nice. He's getting to it already. He's on fire. Been composing up a storm. Is the composer's reaction to seeing the other forms of faceless? Therapist says melting Luigi isn't real. He can't hurt you. Yeah. He's not even meant to be Italian. Not even meant to be Italian. Everyone, people see that mustache. People see the mustache. Okay, that's good. Let's see if I can do a an attack animation for this. That'd be fun. Attack animation for the flamethrower. Why not? He was... Frederick was literally meant to look like his name inspiration. The comic artist Fred, who made my favorite Belgian, Franco-Belgian comic series. There you go. That's some lore right there. Y'all want some lore? You got some lore. I mean, he might be Italian. I don't know. Thanks for dropping by, Jesus. Hey, Sport Dingoes. Doing good? Yep. There's some new content, but it's mostly... There is some new content. But it's mostly bug fixes and tweaks. Sometimes these things happen. Well, the thing is that it was kind of delayed, and like during the delay, I just kept adding more stuff, basically. So like it's kind of like a preview of the 2.0 update. Like a bunch of stuff that I wanted to put into 2.0 just ended up in this one. Because playtesting just ended up a little bit... playtesting just took a little bit longer. You know? I wasn't exactly in a rush for it anyway. So like it started out as just a little patch for like some bug fixing, but like, you know, I just kept adding more to it. I didn't want to just stop developing, waiting for when we'd release it, so I just kept adding to it. I just stayed out of like, you know, big spoiler things for 2.0. And I didn't start working on the hard mode yet. So next week is when I start to work on the hard mode. Next week is when should be when this update comes out. Early next week. Maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday, I'm not sure. Because we're gonna want to have like some media for the update, since it's a little bit more since it ended up being just a little bit more substantial. We don't want to just put it out there with no fanfare, so we decided to just to wait a little bit more to have some media to go along with it. Like maybe a little trailer. Yeah. Yeah, anyone who has an indie game to release around the time Silksong comes out had to delay it, for sure. I mean, at least it was announced 2 weeks in advance. If it was like a super sudden thing, it could have been really, really bad. I really would not want to be in a situation where, I mean, nowadays release dates for indie games are pretty flexible. So I'd imagine anyone who's paying attention and who has a game to release has collectively decided to delay it. Yeah, that makes sense. That might be trickier to change the release date for the Switch, though. That might be a little trickier. No, there wasn't really crunch. I mean, there's always a little bit. There's always like a little bit when there's any sort of time deadline, and when there's any sort of deadline, if a problem comes up, if some sort of issue comes up, or if you have a lot of stuff you want to put in and you know you won't be able to put all of it in, then that's the kind of thing that just kind of makes you makes you sort of crunch to sort of add as much of it as you can in there. You know? So in that sense, kinda. And also whenever something comes out, if there's like a problem, you want to be able to fix it really quickly. So yeah, there was like a little bit of like crunch on art too. There was a lot of unfinished assets leading up to the launch, and obviously we couldn't even get through all of it, so there was a lot of crunch there for sure. It wasn't like super bad crunch. I'm not even sure if you could really call it crunch. But, you know. I mean, there was maybe a few days that would be solidly called crunch around launch. I was, like, really burning the midnight oil. For the most part. There's all sorts of natural sort of deadlines that come up. Like when you know a playtest is coming. And you want to try and fit as much stuff as you can in that playtest. Because, you know, after the playtest, if there's new stuff you want to put in that has any chance of breaking something, you know you kind of have to wait. So it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like that playtest is a bus that you have to put your new features on. And if you miss that bus, you have to wait for the next one. And it might be a while. So that sometimes that can also sort of lead in a little crunch moment. Where, you know, a playtest is coming and you have like a list of these things you want to do. And you know that's like, it's kind of like your last chance to get that in. Or else it'll have to wait at least a month. I mean, you can put in stuff like this in the beta. That's the thing that's really good about the beta. It lets me sort of try out some things without having to wait for a whole playtesting cycle to happen. Play safely. Please play safely. Enjoy video games responsibly, Clownish Cares. There you go. So I made some assets for the flamethrower and the poison spray. It's going to be the same thing, just with a different color. I might tweak one of them to be different at one point, but for now, let's just keep it simple. Okay. I mean, Monty does have a fire breath attack that could maybe recycle one of these, yeah. Okay. I think that's gonna look good. It's gonna take a little while to do, but... Okay. It's gonna take a little while. It's a little tedious, but I think the result is gonna be nice. This is exactly the kind of thing that I would do while watching some random video. Some random YouTube essay or something. some kind of let's play series, maybe of a spooky game.
Oh no, it's time to stretch.
Oh, time to stretch. That's probably going to be the last stretch of tonight. Let's do it. What do I put on in the meantime? Rondo of Blood soundtrack. Rondo of Blood. There you go. Flamethrower attack. That's a narrow attack, though. I'll need to have some sort of fire. Let's see, flamethrower. Let's see if I can find something flamethrower. Otherwise, I'll just get a generic explosion. Let's hear it. Oh, that works. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. A blowtorch, this one. I like this one. Let's go for that one. There you go. Flamethrower. Good. Let's have flashes timed with this. So here, 10. Gonna have a target. At 10. At 12. At 15. And at 17. The last one's gonna last longer. And at 8, there's going to be a lower intensity but longer red flash that starts. That's good. Maybe the first one's going to be less intense. Good. I like that. Then I'll make the acid spray narrow. To do this, all I'll need to do is take this and shift all of the frames by 5. So I should be able to do shift frames, 0 to 20, cells, all of this. No, not shift, batch. And it's pattern. Oh, that's global. Ah, it's not, I can't like add. Ah, shit, that means I'll need to do it, but I'll need to do it manually. This is like the set, not to shift the value. That sucks. Alright, I need to do it by hand then. So... yeah. I mean, it's not going to take that long. It's just going to be tedious. It'll just take like 5 minutes. Damn, I thought I could use the batch, but the batch is just a little too simple. I'll need to find a different sound for the I'll need to use a different sound. It should sound more like a spray. Maybe I'll use like a spray can sound for the acid sprayer. That wasn't too bad. I just need to change this sound to some sort of spray. I'll just search for spray, see what we get from that. Spray spritz cologne. That's probably gonna be too quiet. Yeah, no. Spray noise. That's a spray can. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Oh, it's just the sound of shaking. Maybe I want like a power wash spray. That might be the strength I need for that. Yeah. Let's check like power wash spray. No, just power wash maybe? No. Let's just look for more spray then. Ooh, this one might be closer to what I want. Let's grab this one and let's look for more. This one's good too. All right. I'll grab both of those. I'll grab both of those. Yeah, let's get this one. And there's this sound that would work too with it, maybe. This is for the acid spray. The acid sprayer. Yeah, that's good. There was another one. Wait, what was the other one? Oh, maybe I didn't download this one. Okay. This is WD-40. Spraying. Okay, I might... There you go. And acid spray. I just need to change the color of these. Let's hear it. Yeah, that works. Yeah, they could really, like, you know, I mean, instead what they did is they basically made, like, use another program, right? You're meant to use, like, FXeer instead of using this. But I don't like FXeer. It's too much of a, you know, it's too granular. It's too much of a, like, particle effect thing. I just want animation. You can probably do the same animations in FXeer as in this, but it's, I don't know. It's not really the kind of thing I'm looking for animations. Okay, let's set these abilities now to use this. So narrow spray is now going to use. For now, I'm just going to use the same animation for both, and for both wide spray and narrow spray. And I'll make, after the stream, I'll make a variant of both sprays. That goes wider. It'll just be more like, it'll be more like tedious stuff, so I'll just do that post stream. What? That sensor's spider eyes. I don't know what you mean. Oh, okay. You mean stuff for phobias? Well. Oh. Sorry. Yep. This is MZ I use. Yes, you sell dollar coins for $8. Because since you can use dollar coins in vending machines, they're actually more valuable than their normal value. Almost have to, yeah. I mean, it doesn't really make sense because in a post-apocalypse, people would just smash the machines open. But, you know, in a world where machines cannot be smashed open, then, you know, dollar coins would be very valuable, presumably. Just imagine a universe where vending machines are invincible and food is scarce, you know? See, it makes sense then. Or maybe sometimes a vending machine is a person and you don't want to take the chance. Yeah, you never know. That might be a person. Yeah. All right. Well, okay, we're past midnight, so yeah, post stream, I'm going to make a variation of the narrow fire attack here. I'll make a variation of it that. I'll make a variation of it that. That targets all instead. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. That's going to be it for tonight, folks. That's going to be it for tonight. But yeah, 1.6 should be coming out next week, early next week. This weekend, I might stream. This weekend, I might stream playing through Hexen. I'm interested in playing the Hexen remaster. So I might play this on Sunday night. That might be fun. Interested to see what they did to it. I've already played. I mean, I'm kind of tempted to play it through. I'm kind of tempted to play it through mainly with the cleric again, because it seems like they added a lot to the cleric. The cleric has a shield now and can parry, which is kind of cool. That's new. The others, I'm sure, also had some changes, but it seems like the cleric's got the most chances. But I don't know. Maybe they all had got changes. Maybe I could use. Maybe I could try the fighter or the mage. I don't know. But I mean, I can just play with all of them anyway. So yeah, the remake lets you just switch classes in the HUD. So in the hub. All right. But yeah, thank you all for watching, folks. And take care. Oh, actually, I always forget. I was about to forget again. I keep doing that. I have a Patreon, folks. I have a Patreon. Please consider supporting me on Patreon. And also, let's raid someone. Let's see. Who can I raid? Who is streaming? Whomst is streaming right now. Let's see. Okay, there's some folks. Okay. Anyone playing Look Outside? Ooh, someone's playing Look Outside. Let's see. Yeah, Tolomeo is playing. Tolomeo is playing Look Outside. Anyone here familiar with Tolomeo? Yeah, let's raid Tolomeo. Let's raid Tolomeo. There we go. Alrighty. Let's go, folks. Yeah, thank you all for watching. And take care.